Okay, I thought I'd run through these examples and put them into a video. These are what we looked at in class today. Um, and these can be tricky because there are times when you have to switch the direction of the inequality. And sometimes the best way to figure out whether that has to happen is to write out what you're going to do in order to solve it. In order to solve this inequality, I have to multiply each side of the equation by -3. And if I multiply or divide by a negative number, this switches directions. And then I go ahead and perform the operation that I indicated. I will multiply both sides of this by -3. These form the number 1, and I'm just left with x. 2 times -3 is -6. So if x divided by -3 is to be greater than 2, x needs to be less than -6. And it's simply a matter of taking your time and making yourself aware of what you're doing. In order to solve this inequality, I have to multiply by 4. I multiply, and this time I'm multiplying by a positive number. Since I'm multiplying by a positive number, the direction of the inequality does not change. And I will go ahead and perform that operation. And I have x is less than or equal to 24. If x over 4 is to be less than or equal to 6, x has to be less than or equal to 24. Now, it doesn't matter if there are negative numbers at other places in the problem. Notice with this inequality, in order to solve, I have to divide by 8. What I am doing is dividing by a positive number. Therefore, that does not change direction. I go ahead and perform the operation I've indicated, and I have x is greater than or equal to -2. If 8x is to be greater than or equal to -16, x has to be greater than or equal to -2. In this last example, in order to solve it, I have to divide by -3. I'm dividing by a negative. I flip the direction of the sign. Then I perform the operations. X is greater than 12. If -3x is to be less than -36, x is going to have to be greater than 12. So the combination of these things, multiplying or dividing, and whether you're doing it by a negative or a positive number, indicates whether or not the sign has to flip. If you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, the sign changes direction. By a positive number, the sign does not change direction. By a positive number, the sign does not change direction. By a negative number, the sign does change direction. This does not apply to adding and subtracting, only multiplying and dividing. I hope that helps.